Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
One more spot available in the semi-finals of the North American Championship here at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. It'll go to either Gary Mawson or Jeff Smith. Jeff Smith, of course, came closer than anybody earlier on today to creating an upset in the opening round of the US Darts Masters. Pushed former UK Open champion Peter Wright all the way to a last leg decider. Gary Mawson, the 56-year-old, huge amount of experience. Played at the World Match Play, played at the World Championship on a few occasions. He was beaten the very first game of the day by Gerwyn Price. Got 4 legs off him. Jeff Smith, a former world finalist from the Lakeside, of course. Won this title last year, booked his place at Ali Pali, but didn't have things go all his own way in his opening game 12 months ago, because Ross Snook had to miss match darts to allow Jeff Smith through to the semi-finals. Man sat alongside me, Dawson Mershall, knows all about Jeff Smith, something of a mentor to you, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I lived in the same city as Jeff for a couple years there, and I learned a lot from him. He's helped mentor me for the best part of my career, and he's been fantastic. He knows this game inside and out, and he knows how to handle big pressure situations. And even my first year in Vegas, he was there in the back room helping me prepare, showing me the best routines to go through in the morning. It's been an amazing mentor for me.
22.
Yeah, last year undoubtedly was one of the players picked out to watch, and he delivered in the end. Saw off
97.
Danny Lorby in the semi-finals after beating Ross Snook, and then overcame your mate John Norman Jr. in the final.
$100.
Always been a strong Canadian contingent in this North American Championship. What is it about Canada that just seems... do you think it's the legacy of John Pott, having that top player has helped the scene?
Maybe. I don't know. It's I think it could have something to do with the way our tournaments are run in our format, because in the States, they're more used to playing 10 events in a weekend with best of threes, where Canadians are more used to playing one singles event in the morning and the day.
134.
Bit longer of a format, and focusing more on just the singles aspect of it, whereas the Americans have focused more on getting a lot of events into a short time period.
150.
Yeah, they're almost like darts festivals, some of the old school American events, as the silencer can't put another in the 57 that would have given him a dart for the leg. Similar sort of shot for Gary Mawson.
$45. Jeffrey requires.
The old double 13. Would your mentor recommend leaving this one, Dawson?
Probably not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he learned this one, but it works.
First leg, Jeff Smith.
He goes 1-0 up and breaks Mawson in the opening leg.
Game on. $80.
It's a good last start. The big thing about Jeff is he's not going to put in a lot of 180s. He's not going to put in a lot of big flashy scoring, but his finishing is unreal, and he'll hit steady tons most of the way down. And I think that's a big key to winning a lot of dart matches, is just staying consistent. And that's one of the things he is very good at.
Yeah, well, certainly when he had his run at the Lakeside, it was combination finishes which caught the eye as he went all the way to the final.
$28.
Thing about Gary, though, is he is very experienced, making the UK Open final in 2008. Beating a lot of big names on the way to doing that. We have a Lakeside finalist and a PDC major finalist. Been a while since Gary's been in the prime of his career, but he can still throw darts. Still a quality player.
Yeah, certainly can. Had the Grand Slam champion, in a spot of bother earlier on today.
100.
Gerwyn Price only coming through that one by 6 legs to 4. Oh, that really hurts. Really hurts, that one.
130.
Does leave himself a checkout, so forces Jeff Smith to try and take this out in this visit. Staying on the 20s. Now the ball.
105. Gary 160.
Feel that this must go for Gary. Not a great first dart.
40. Jeffrey Roy 25.
Double 8 to double his lead.
17. Gary Roy 120.
Well,
Gonna get another look.
Seen some decent checkouts already this evening. That's the single. Cannot get the treble, so will not get a go at the double. And you cannot keep inviting Jeff Smith
8.
to have goes at the outer ring, because more often than not, he'll take it out. But round we go. Oh, sneaks it in.
The latest Gary to throw first. Game on.
He'll be happy that went in, just in the corner.
Obviously, Jeff has been a guiding hand as you've developed as a player. But have you ever modelled yourself on a particular player? And if so, how? Or have you just played the game in your own way?
97.
For me, it's I've kind of had the same throw for my whole career. I've changed a little bit when it came to I used to stack. Now that try and get my darts to stand up a bit more. But other than that, I've just kind of tried to find my own way, and I think that was a big part that Jeff taught me, is not to try and mimic people and try and get yourself modeled after people and just find your own way.
140.
It's the first 1040 score of this contest. But as Dawson pointed out earlier, Jeff Smith has been very good at picking up a treble each visit.
Absolutely. That's one of the things Jeff's good at, too, is
85.
picking his game up to wherever it needs to be to beat the other player. And whether it's a 75 average needed to do that, or it's a 95 average needed to do that, he's very good at raising his game
133.
to meet what the other player is doing. And that's very important to do as well.
Well, James Wade, the absolute master of that. No James Wade
84.
here this year for the World Series event, but you will be seeing him in Cologne. World Series continues next weekend. It's the World Championship, and a spot there that's up for grabs here tonight in the North American Championship. Oh, well, he's hit the double there. He's after the single. And that leaves double 4.
41.
Gary Mawson, a silly mistake, and it's cost him a dart at a double. It could cost him the leg.
For tops,
98. Gary Uruguay.
A let off, and it would have been another break of throw.
Catch on the third leg, Gary Mawson.
That gift
Well,
gratefully
Jeff to throw
received
first.
by Gary
Game
Mawson
on.
to get on the board.
yeah, hasn't been the greatest start for Gary, but hopefully that double there will help settle him in a bit. He knows he's up for a big ask,
96.
playing the defending champion. Seems to settle him in a bit here with a big 180.
180.
It is one of the enduring
60.
appeals of this game, where a guy well into his 50s is capable of going up there and mixing it with any age. It could be,
60.
some young Canadian player breaking through on the PDC Tour, or whoever.
140.
Little pause for Gary. Making sure he goes 17s.
83.
Or a 3.
Yeah, perhaps could have made slightly more sure with that one. Had he hit the 17, he would have been on a checkout.
105.
Sensible use of the bullseye. Jeff Smith leaves himself a potential 2-darter.
What'll be going through Jeff's mind here now is just make sure you hold your throw and you win the match. That's all he'll be focused on right now, is holding his throw, and he needs 100 to do that. 2 darts from tops. 1 from double 10.
90. Gary Hook 1, 97.
Oh, Jeff Smith is missing doubles. Gary Mawson is not.
Full leg, Gary Mawson. Fifth leg is Gary
2-0 down.
first.
Now 2-all. Mawson seems as surprised as anybody about it.
Jeff has opened the door here. And Gary has walked right in.
$139.
Definitely settling into this match a bit more. Gary.
96.
Things could be heating up here.
$121.
It does look like Mawson is settling into a bit of a rhythm. He's looking more likely to pick up those
100.
2 treble visits. Just gives him a little advantage. And there's another one.
123.
Jeff is going to need to find some big scoring visits here. Good thinking going 18 first. Better leave a finish. Beautiful darts.
133.
Doesn't quite leave a finish, but
118.
the thought was there.
$46.
Not exactly what he was after. Mawson should get at least 1 dart when he returns, but a ton 40 from Jeff Smith. Well, he's left himself
136.
at double 18, of which he's so fond. Huge moment, this. Double 6. Oh,
66. Jeff, you
How important will that
56.
miss prove to be?
Ash on the 5th leg, Jeff Smith.
Jeff Smith, last year's champion, raced to a 2-0 lead, but had to survive a couple of darts that would have seen him 3-2 behind at the break. The silencer has his nose in front, but it might be another first-round battle for him at the North American Championship. Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay Resort sees the North American Championship take place tonight, and Jeff Smith, last year's champion, holds the narrowest of advantages over Gary Mawson, the veteran. He is shading the numbers in terms of the averages, but that double success rate, the 27% for Jeff Smith, has just opened the door for Gary Mawson. He's missed darts in both of the legs he has lost. It could, Dawson Marshall, be 5-0 Jeff Smith here. The fact it isn't could be critical come the end of this match.
Definitely, yeah. It's missing those doubles has been huge for this match.
To throw first. Game on.
But Jeff still has the lead. Still managed to hang on the lead, even though he's 27% on his doubles.
Well, Jeff Smith is a guy who's gone all over the world playing darts as one of the leading players from Canada for a number of years, but back home in New Brunswick, he's still runs a business and everything, doesn't he? It's difficult balancing those competing elements.
Absolutely, yeah. His auto body business, Champion's Choice, has been very successful. He's busy all the time doing body work, and he's very good at what he does too. Make no mistake, he's does some of the best paint jobs I've seen, and he's done well for himself.
99.
I know after his Lakeside final, he ended up actually purchasing the company outright, and that's how he actually became owner of the whole place. Is he used his money from the lakeside to do that.
Some fellow Canadians in. Looking to see Jeff Smith go all the way again, no doubt.
$133.
Decent visit from the silencer. Puts him within striking distance.
70. $59.
He was looking at the 18s there, Mawson. If he'd stuck 3 in the treble
42.
18, he'd have left himself on double top. So it's not just a really bad dart at treble 20. But Smith will look down the board here. 2 treble 19s was what he was after. But that will do very nicely for Jeff Smith. Tops required, unless... Not going to be, just 159 more of those needed.
39. Jeffrey Aguirre, 40.
Tops for Jeff to take a 4-2 lead.
Cash on the sick leg, Jeff Smith.
Beautiful dart right in the middle.
The leg is Gary to throw first. Game on.
Statement that, isn't it? Straight after the break, putting a solid leg like that, pin the double first dart.
Definitely, yeah. Jeff seems to be settling into this match a little bit more now. He's getting that little snarl on his face, the trademark of him. And that's how you know he's heating up, is when that little snarl comes on.
Yeah, not unlike
59.
Another great Canadian dart player, John Parr, who had a real lip curl back when he got stuck into a darts contest.
85. $99. $140. $133.
Ah, Darren Webster, the tungsten homunculus from Norwich.
The demolition man.
Indeed. Big mates with Jeff Smith.
41.
Over here on his holidays. Comes out to Vegas most years.
$100.
Yeah, Jeff and Darren first met at Q School quite a few years back when they both won their tour card. Started rooming together on some of the tour events.
110.
And Darren's been out the past couple of years cheering Jeff on and having his back.
54. Gary Aguirre, 80.
This needs to go for Gary.
Yeah, only going to get 1 dart though.
60.
And 1 dart is not enough.
56.
Jeff Smith to break the throw to go 5-2 up. Switch across to double 9.
38. Gary Aguirre, 20.
Must go. Doesn't go. It doesn't really matter that he's lost the score. Might have been, if you're going to miss, you may as well miss there. But Jeff Smith, he's going to split this to leave double 4. And he is just 1 leg away from the semi-finals and a clash with the USA #1, Big Daddy Darren Young.
Yeah, Jeff seemed to be in complete control of this game now. Big break of throw there.
57.
If he does get the job done here, Dawson, he's averaging in the mid-80s. He's not turned it on as such. There's been some misses at double. He's not fired in perhaps as many ton 40s as he would like. What's the overwhelming feeling going to be? Is it just relief and a win's a win, or do you feel a bit nervous that your best hasn't come out yet?
Jeff will be thinking here that he's just happy to get the win. I know Jeff's mindset, and in his mind, he'll have said that he just played what he needed to play, and it'll give him a lot of confidence going into the next one against Big Daddy Darren Young.
Yeah, with some world-class finishing from Darren Young in the previous quarterfinals, saw him beat Jim Long. It'll be Danny Baggish, who looks a real talent, taking on Leonard Gates in the opening semi-final, with Young versus one of these two. And right now, it very much looks like it's going to be the silencer Jeff Smith, looking to make it back-to-back North American Darts Championships.
Yeah, that 7 came at the absolute worst time for Gary.
100. Jeff Uruguay, 160.
So 6 darts from 160. Doesn't need to go in this visit. But he'd take a ton, I think. Ton 40 would be even better.
No,
okay.
96.
Well, it's an interesting decision there, because if he stays on the 20s, he's guaranteed 2 match darts, so assuming he doesn't miss any big numbers. Here he might only get the 1, Dawson. Go on, criticise your mentor. Criticise it.
I think for him, he was thinking the lie just kind of looked a little bit awkward there, and he didn't want to get a deflection into the 5 or 1. But double 16 for the match. Gets it.
And the match,
Jeff Smith does make the semi-finals. Last year's winner is still in the hunt for the $10,000 first prize on a return to Alexandra Palace. Gary Mawson makes way. Jeff Smith can prepare for a clash with the USA #1, Big Daddy Darren Young.
Welcome back to Las Vegas and the North American Championship, and that man holds the trophy and he is through to the semi-final again. Jeff Smith with the winning dart against Gary Mawson. Quick look at the stats then. 6-2 for Smith, similar to the other quarterfinals we've seen so far this evening. Cagey opening, but then the class of the reigning champions saw through. 85.24 average, no 180s. Mawson got himself one, double success, 38 against 22%. Okay, let's hear from the reigning champion through to another semi-final. He's with Dan Dawson.
Jeff, congratulations. Some misses early on made it tighter than it might have been.
Yeah, it's kind of deja vu from last year. I had a weak first round and got going after the into the second match, but I think I was kind of waiting for Gary to explode, and he just never did, and he was doing the same thing for me, so just happy to get through it.
The fact that you won here last year, does that give you a psychological edge? It must be a good feeling just walking in the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, the venue's spectacular, the fans are spectacular, you know what I mean? It'd just be great if I could now perform the way I normally would do, and you know what I mean? If I play against the way I did against Peter Wright, then I'm going to be able to do better going forward. But tough match next round with Darren. Just going to have to take it one game at a time.
Yeah, tough, Matt. I mean, Darren's a guy who rivals you in terms of experience, and he's been finishing very, very well so far tonight. He could be an absolute cracker.
Yeah, I've played him the last couple of times in the CDC events, and he's gotten me both times. I've had him a few times before that, so it's going to be a close game, hopefully, but I've got to pick it up a notch if I'm going to meet where he's at right now.
Looking forward to it. Congrats.
Thank you.
Well done to Jeff Smith. Confirmation of all the quarterfinal results here in Las Vegas. Daniel Baggish beating Elliot Milk, followed by Leonard Gates beating Sean Brenneman. Darren Young got past Jim Long, and we've just seen Jeff Smith beating Gary Mawson. Rod Harrington, it's interesting what Jeff